Good morning and welcome to the Morning Blessings. I am Tessa-Marie. How are you feeling today? Today is a wonderful day. I have been waiting for you. So sometimes when we wake up, Ceci, I forgot to get all my stuff done, so I was running late. But thank you for joining. It's a pleasure always to have you. Each and every one of you, hello Jean, good morning. When you show up for the morning blessings, it's a great pleasure. I enjoy seeing you, I enjoy hearing you, and it's magnificent. For me to have this opportunity, it's amazing. It's a gift from God to stand up in the morning and do the morning blessings. I think it's a privilege, and I really enjoy having it. Good morning, Lisa. How are you feeling this morning? It's 8 o'clock, so let's get the show on the road. It's one of the, did you see the heading? The topic heading. What to do and how to react when a challenge comes to your door. A challenge shows up, and I have an insurance policy for that. So this challenge comes to us, and we're not expecting to have a challenge, really. Good morning. There are others here, but Instagram is not shy. Lisa, good morning. Lisa D. And who else is here? Good morning, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Instagram is refusing to move, so if I don't mention your name, it's because Instagram is going to do its own thing. Anyway, let's get this wonderful show on the road. Today, we have this opportunity to wake up in the morning and face the day. And we always want a great day, but there are challenges, and sometimes these challenges come knocking even if you do not ask for it to be knocked or to drop by into your house. It just shows up. Oh, anyway, do you think? So, a challenge has arrived. How to react to it? What to do? The thing is, we have choices. And reacting to the challenge is a choice. It's how we react that is different. Good morning, unbeatable moment. How are you feeling this morning? So our choice when we face a challenge is to zoom in and obsess about it. Zoom in and obsess. Zoom out and observe. Because although it's a challenge, it has a situation where you can look at it. Make a choice to go with it, zoom into it, get involved in it, obsess about it, or to zoom out and look at it from a distance. And that's called observing what is going on. Because remember, challenges are not always of our making. We might have taken a step, taken action, or not, and it created a challenge. But the thing though, it's not an internal challenge. It's usually outside of us. And if we want, we can choose. And if we are aware, we can choose how to react to that challenge. So many times, we are looking at a challenge and we get obsessive about it. We jump into it. We hold it up. Good morning, Nancy. How is the hairdo? You jump into it. And the challenge is a raging river. But we have no idea where it's going. We say, I have to get it. I have to get it. It's funny when I do these things that something happens. I remembered we were away in Dominica, most of us, everybody, except a few. And these guys, the younger generation, with Eric in tow, that included Michael and Gavin and Sophia and whoever else, and they went on a boat cruise. And of course, they cruised. But it was the 2nd of November, and they had to be at the cemetery to light the graves. Eric is one person that is really honoring tradition. He doesn't deviate from tradition. Good morning, Dawn. Good morning. I'm Betty. How are you guys feeling this morning? So when they realized, Eric said, you guys have to get to the cemetery. You have to go honor your grandfather and your grandmother and your aunt. So get yourself, or was she? No, she wasn't dead yet. It's just father and mother. So they had to go. And when they got there, it was dark. Now they didn't, it's dark, but they're lighted graves. So when Sophia stepped, she fell into a grave that was open for a burial coming up, 6 feet down, and she injured her hip. While she was down there, Michael and Jermaine both jumped in to pull her out. Michael hurt his leg. And the thing is, they jumped in. Doug God said, oh, okay. Sorry to hear that, Nancy. As I'm saying, they jumped into the challenge. They did not stop to observe that how deep. They didn't know. These people they wouldn't have known that a grave is 6 foot into the ground. So they jumped in their height. So you can imagine the damage it did to them. She was badly hurt. But the thing is, they did not stop. And when they saw this person is in there, they're obsessed. They jumped in. They have to get out. They have to get out. They did. They hurt themselves. But if they had maybe paused and somebody else would show up, she wasn't bleeding. She hurt internally, her hip. They didn't. So this is a challenge that they did not create. And that's what most challenges are. You do not create them. You might take an action because they arrive that will create a challenge, a challenge deeper than the challenge you're facing. So that is why we have to look at challenges. Good morning, Loretta. Welcome back. As something that we have a choice. Zoom into it. Let the energy of it captivate you. Let it take over. Let it control you. And you're obsessing about it. We all know obsessing takes energy. When you are obsessing about something, you're giving it your all. And I'm going to digress a little because I want you to use that energy when you are visualizing or manifesting what you want in your life. That energy that we feel, and it has nothing to do with this topic, but I need to remind you, when you obsess and all your energy is into that obsession of what is something you should maybe walk away from. But what I'm asking, today when you're going to visualize what you desire in your life or manifesting, use that energy, challenge that, and put it into it. Because that is where it will do good. The other one will take you down a rabbit hole with one entrance, no way to get out. It doesn't even, you go to England and you look at the gargoyles, right? They couldn't read. So what they did, they had a gargoyle with its tongue, its mouth open. So that's telling you to go in. And where you have to come out, the tongue is hanging out. So this is what you have to do. Choose. You want to pull it in or you want to walk away from it. And of course, these bystanders will tell you walk away. But no, it's not the way we are built. So we do not walk away. We do not remember. Even if we practice this morning, I'm just going to give this, we sometimes let ourselves go there. And again, the thing and the reason why we allow ourselves to go there, it is because we are not conscious in the moment. You're conscious, but not in the moment. Not when you're there, because you are zooming into it and you're obsessing about it. Whereas if you zoom out and you look at it, or you zoom in, you go towards the person that's angry at you. But if you do that, and you say, let me see what's going on there. What's triggering that human being? And as I said, the analogy is always the person has a knife, they're holding the handle and the blade is pointed at you. That is not always in the physical form. It could be the manager that has your paycheck control. That person has the knife. Is it the right time to obsess and zoom in? Or is that time to wait to fight another day? We have to remember that. And it is a learning and a constant application every time you face a challenge. Because I was not expecting this, is what we say. I wonder what will happen next, is what we don't say. There is always next, we don't say. The next can be amazing and beautiful, we don't say that. So the only thing we say when we are facing a challenge, I was not expecting that. And the minute we say that, you notice when I said that, my head changed, my voice was different. I was not expecting that. But that is quiet. Say it in stillness. Oh, you stomp on it and you do that with it, you're manifesting it. You do that on it, you're making it part of your life. You have to stop obsessing on it. Pull yourself back and say, you know what, I really wasn't expecting that. And then I wonder what will happen next. What's going to happen? There is always a next. It never stands still. Something is going to show up. There is always a next. And the next can come to you. Hi, Rosalind. Good morning. How are you feeling today? And the next can come to you as brilliant, amazing, a small opportunity, a lock, door, and the key is in your hand. That could be your next. But you will not see that if when that challenge comes, you obsess about it. Life gives us millions of lessons. The TV has trillions of lessons. What do they say? It doesn't have to be so difficult. I don't like that. I really do not like it. But I can use it because I've seen so much disaster at the bank with that thing called a reverse mortgage. So, but it's almost like you have an insurance policy. I don't have enough money, but I have a home. So in my 70s, 60s, whatever, I'm remortgage it so I can live. So that's an insurance. So now the home is your insurance policy. So you don't have to leave a legacy. But if your heart desire was to leave a legacy and that house is heavily mortgaged, even while you're living in it and enjoying getting the money to meet your living expenses, you're going to feel uneasy. But you have that insurance policy. So that makes you feel better. So you see, it has both sides. So what will happen next is that you'll be able to enjoy it. But sometimes we go overboard and then we end up with not receiving what we plan to do because we obsessed and we went too far and there was no pullback. But if we take the time to observe and we take our time to look at that challenge, I cannot meet my living expenses, and you take the time to decide, you know what? Another $10, 10,000, another 50,000 a year would make it easier for me to live. Maybe I can control how and when I use my credit card. Observation makes you start to calculate. Look at the situation. How are we doing this? But if you're obsessive, you will just jump into it like the kids jump into that grave without thinking. So when a challenge comes, look and see what type of insurance policy you have against it. And pull out your policy. Because when you know you have a policy, you are feeling fortified and ready to go. You always have to remember, created challenges can come to you when you're not looking for a challenge. You have no money, you have, but you don't have enough to live the way you want to live. They know your age. The company is making money. They're creating a challenge for you by telling you can fix it because look at this person, an actor about your age, a performer in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, and we forget they paid them to do this. And we say, if Tom Selleck can do it, if this one can do it, I should do it. And right, you see what I mean? We are creating our own challenge. Because sooner or later, you will have drained the pot. If you live beyond draining the pot, then there is nothing. So you created that challenge. So did because of what you saw, and you believe them. And that is why you have to realize and consider, where is that information coming from? Why is this person who is so successful, a lot more successful than all of us, still working, mind you, is selling you something that can bring you down a little bit to where you do not want to be? They're paid to do that. So when you tell me your financial advisor at the bank is your friend, I have to tell you no. They're not your friend. They have a job to do. When you tell me that my doctor is so nice to me and treats me so nice and always, hey, advocate for yourself. Ask some questions. Why are you giving me this prescription, doctor? Why are you giving me another credit card? My best friend at the bank smiling. Hello, how are you? That's my job. If I give you another credit card, I get a pat on the back and it will increase my bonus. I might get a promotion. That's my job. So these are challenges that come at you. Good morning, Arita. How are you feeling today? So when the challenges come, you have a choice. Obsess. Zoom in and obsess, zoom out and observe. So be prepared, because sometimes we walk not expecting to find a challenge, and the challenge is sweet in the beginning, and when we uncover it, we find out it's really tough. Now I have 2 credit cards to pay. Now I'm spending more than I thought I would spend in this reverse mortgage business. That person is not your friend. That's their job. The doctor gives a prescription. The drug company pays him a supplement. Did you know that? They get paid for every prescription they write to you. Advocate. Ask questions. And you cannot do that if you have zoomed in and you're obsessive. I'm going to take it and it will. No. You need to observe and ask questions in the moment. Why? You know, check your chat, doctor. You know I'm taking this already and that already. Will that create a conflict? Sometimes a tuning chemist or pharmacist, will say, you know, this drug will not interact with that drug. But otherwise, you have it. And then that has a list of things like this. Have you noticed it takes an hour to list the amount of side effects a drug has? And whole hour, they can tell you, and they tell you read the rest. But then we believe it will work because there's somebody with dancing shoes that's being paid to say, I took it and it was marvelous for me. But what is marvelous for you mightn't be marvelous for me. And it creates a challenge later on. My friend was taking 2 Motrins every day for over 20 years. And one day, an astute doctor said, why are you taking this Motrin? When she said, because Dr. Wallace told me to take it. But Dr. Wallace was dead. And she was still following, and which apparently it bring up her blood pressure. Nobody is going to advocate for you. Challenges do come in. They come in uninvited. They show up. But you have to decide it's a challenge, and do not zoom in and get obsessive about it. And let the challenge guide you to a different place where you know you shouldn't be. It arrives. They come. They have to come. That's part of life. These things will affect you. The thing is, though, when we are in those, like the 3 examples of the challenges we have right now, these challenges could be avoided previously, earlier on. But were we in the moment observing what we were doing, our actions, or were we just zooming in what was going on everywhere and not taking care of us? They're going to come. So we have to realize that we have to prepare. We have an insurance policy on our car. Why? On our houses, on our life. Just in case when I die, they can bury me. I have a different philosophy on this, so it doesn't really matter. But if they don't want to bury you, they, meaning children, all they have to do is leave you on your bed, lock the door, and go away. If they cannot find a way to bury you. So you have this big insurance policy so that when you die, they'll bury you. We do that. But we do not put an insurance policy on our behavior when a challenge knocks the door. We walk into it. And we listen to what other people are saying, and we use that information to get what they're saying that maybe works for somebody, but will not work for you. Do you know you are a spendthrift? Do you know you're the wrong person to have a reverse mortgage? You had to fight tooth and nail to keep that house, to get it paid off. Did you forget that? And now, you know once you get the money, you're going to squander it. You know your record. But because Tom Selleck said to do it and all the other actors, it's a good idea. So you're creating that challenge. But you still have to deal with it. So when you have the challenge you have that you created because you assume what was good for the gander is good for the goose, it's not always true. I remember going to my doctor and said to me, oh, your hormones level wasn't average. What was the word he used? Was like it was good. And then he added that caveat, which if it was legal, I would have just reached and pulled his tie and pulled it up. He said, for your age. I looked at him and I said, so what are you telling me? I have a cousin that's just 5 foot. So the amount of hormones in her body and me is the same? He didn't answer. He looked at me. He said, well, I said, doctor, do not tell me I'm average. So let us find out where it should be for my height, my race, and everything else. And that's when he realized I was that kind of person that was just not going to take it. So you have to push when somebody's ready with their pen to tell you, sign here, here's another credit card. Do you really need it? How long did it take you to pay off this credit card? The last one. And now, do you know $2,500 at 19.99% will take you 12 years to pay it? If you pay the minimum or more, it depends. So that's a challenge we are creating. And then all you can afford is the minimum. No, you have a challenge. When you get your paycheck, and the first thing you have to think about is to pay the bills, you know you have to fix things. And that is very important. So challenges will come. The car will break down. Something will happen. And you have to deal with it. But do not obsess about it. It is not necessary to call your friend and to tell her how horrible your car is acting up. Is she a mechanic? Can she help you? Telling me all the details of your health or your friend, is that going to help you? I'm not a doctor. I cannot prescribe anything. Go to the source of help. And that is what we have to remember, is that a challenge will come and our job is to watch how we react to it. Even a personal relationship will have challenges. They laugh in the Caribbean. They say your teeth and your tongue are so close and yet they fight. Sometimes you bite your tongue without thinking of it. So they do have wars. So you're going to have a fight with somebody or discussion or disagreement. You have to look to see, is it the right time to behave that way? Or is it a time to pull back and observe? Do what? You observe people's behavior. For example, a person behaves in a particular way. Instead of criticizing it, what you have to do is to, what do they say? Not to self. So if you are faced with that challenge that they just experienced, you do not react like that. They saw it as a challenge. It happened outside of them though. It wasn't their stomach that was hurting. It happened outside of them. Yet they jumped in and they took control of it and it hurt. And you are the bystander. You have to learn from other people's experiences. And I am really good at that because I love to observe. Although I talk a lot, I observe. I listen when you speak. I hear you. And it's because I hear your words. So zoom out and observe what is happening around you. When you know the river is raging, why jump in? The further downstream you go, the bigger the boulders. You believe you're going to survive this? It is a raging river. What should you do? Sit and wait? Walk away? It's not the time to cross the stream? It's the banks are soft? Is it now you're going to stand on the banks of the river and you know it is soft, your weight will push the mud into, and there you go. The only way we can control that is if we are aware of where we are and to zoom and observe. Not zoom and obsess. It takes us nowhere. And always believe there is going to be a next. It does not stand still. Not a next disaster, but what will happen next? This is the big thing. The challenge is here. Okay, a challenge has arrived. It came. I was not expecting this. No, I was not. Neither you, none of us expecting it. And then you go, I wonder what will happen next. And if you say that, you're going to have to pause because you're human. Your mind is going to pause. And then you might look over your shoulder and say, you know what? There's always the next time. And I don't know what the next holds, but the next can be amazing and beautiful. Right now, it's not. So can I look at it and see what I can do with it? Can I look at it and let it ride? Let it go. Live to fight another day. So zooming in will cause you to not stop to think. Zooming in will cause you to just take whatever they say. But when you zoom out and you watch, why would I do this? Why do I need this? What's the purpose of this? And because they are the doctor, the lawyer, the candlestick maker, that doesn't mean they know everything. And that's why you ask, tell me more. Let me know. The credit card. But I have one already. Well, you know, we gave you this one. No, I am getting a raise if I give you that card. Simple as that. No, I am getting paid to tell you take a reverse mortgage. And a reverse mortgage, sometimes it's not even you that use it. Because when you get a certain age, you say to the children, I took a reverse mortgage and somebody said, Mom, I'm really having a hard time. Can I get $12,000 from you? Shh, because it's there. And you can't say no. But you couldn't make ends meet a while ago. Now you have a debt bigger to pay. Think about it. Thanks, Jean. And what you have to remember is challenges will show up. You have to realize that you have to look at them like a rooster doesn't just go and pick the first hen in the barnyard. It's circling that barnyard, looking at that rooster up and down. Circle at what is in your life. Circle at what's happening in your life. Observe it. But the most important gift you have is to appreciate where you are in your life. Because if you go back a little further, you will remember the times you desired exactly what you have. And that I say for you at the end. I want you, each of you, to go with this. Appreciate where you are, what you're doing in now. Appreciate it. It's not only being grateful. I appreciate where I am because I planned for it. I worked on it. Spend time in appreciation and you will avoid obsessing over things you shouldn't. Have a great day. Talk to you later, guys. So, good morning, wonderful people. Loretta, Nancy, Stacy, Colleen, Lisa, Arita, and Roslyn. Thank you, guys. Hi, Kimberly. Kimberly, I have to phone you to wake you up. The topic was, a challenge has arrived, how to react, what to do. You have choices. You can obsess, zoom into it, and obsess, zoom out, and observe it. So, folks, have a wonderful day. I'm happy and grateful to have had this opportunity today. And remember what I said. Appreciate where you are and what you're doing because you designed it before and know you're living it. Have a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.